Alderman JP Smith, the Mayco member for Safety and Security, and the man in political charge of traffic issues, joins us again. JP, hello.
Greetings, John.
The number of people contact me to complain about the level of gridlocking at particularly major intersections in and out of town grows. Every day I'm getting 5, 6, 10 sometimes people. You and I have spoken about it before. I've said, why don't you put cameras at the major intersections? And you said, well, yeah, then we send people fines, they don't pay, and we can't get them into the courts because there's no court time, no court space to put those matters into. I mean, is it your sense, JP, as a citizen as well as a city official, that the issue is getting at or has got out of hand?
I would agree. I think that it is it is a significant contributor to daily frustration on our road. I drive up and down between appointments and meetings all day. Many of those are in the CBD, but they're also all over the city. So if anybody experiences daily commuter frustration coming into work and driving between appointments the entire day, then I promise you I'm among them. So I suspect the number of complaints you're getting per day is roughly equal to the number I submit to the staff in turn as well, including on this issue where around the Fountain Circle, around big intersections, elsewhere in the city, the level of inconsiderate driving is a significant contributor to people's frustration. So we have put a lot of pressure. I have also tried to apply, along with many other things that are all competing for enforcement attention. I have also been raising this fairly consistently. We had a launch of this where we tried to educate the people to be civil, not just an enforcement approach, but also a public awareness approach. And so we have been trying to issue a very substantial number of fines. We've seen an increase in the number of fines. A consequence in September to November, we've issued 261 fines in the CBD. That's just for the Cape Town court. 53 for directional errors, 314 fines in total, and that's just Cape Town CBD. And across the city, a very substantial number as well for blocking of intersections. So I can see the staff are increasing their efforts. I don't know if there's a lag or a lead time before the public start getting the message.
Because I certainly haven't got the message, and unfortunately, JP, some of your officers haven't got the message either, because I quite often see City of Cape Town traffic cars that are on their way to Gallows Hill, and they merrily join in the gridlock, particularly coming off the elevated freeway and turning right on to Dock Road. I mean, today I happen to be the last vehicle that could legitimately enter that intersection because there was an exit for me. There was just a little bit of space on Dock Road into which I could put my motor car. And there were 7 vehicles behind me. So when the lights go green for the people heading, past the Civic Centre onto Dock Road, they have to wait for those 7 cars to clear before they can get moving, which delays that route of traffic. And is there anything you can do more than is being done at the moment, you collectively?
I mean, so traffic issued 231,270 fines for September and October and the first part of November. And we're increasingly issuing fines for this blocking of the intersection. Traffic bylaw is coming that provides for people who disobey these signals to have the vehicle impounded in addition to being fined. That's only going to be for the most egregious offences. But where somebody makes themselves guilty of repeat offences in this regard, we can then start applying more effective measures. Public amplification through what you're doing now certainly must aid. And the peer pressure of other people exhibiting impatience with people who do that and admonishing them, short of engaging in road rage incidents. And then I have a meeting coming up with the management and the staff, the sort of ongoing attempt to focus on our back to basics, to focus on these kind of traffic enforcement matters that make life difficult for people, because the The other part of it is that we're constantly pulled in the opposite direction of doing more and more crime prevention, and even using our basic municipal resources for traffic and bylaw enforcement also to undertake crime prevention, so that we are continuously neglecting our core business because SAPS is now so severely under-resourced.
I don't know how many people you have within the department who are trained to control traffic at intersections, because I know that one of the choke points for me getting home is through the waterfront and the road that sort of where you turn left to go to the Clock Tower precinct and right onto Dock Road. And when that's very busy, the waterfront puts traffic officers there, and it makes a difference. The traffic goes a lot more smoothly because they stop people from blocking cars from blocking the intersection. So I don't know what you've mentioned resources and lack thereof, but is there not a case to be made for identifying the 5, 10, 15 worst offending intersections, and during peak hours particularly have officers stationed there near permanently?
I think therein lies the rub, that there will be several hundred of those intersections that people routinely complain about, where we're expected to be present, along with responding during peak hours to significant motor vehicle accidents that are causing congestion, where the vehicle needs to be cleared, doing enforcement of taxis driving on the shoulder of the road, which until the impoundments provisions get reintroduced through the traffic bylaw after the National Minister yanked them from the regs. Our fines in relation to those offences are also comparatively ineffectual, but that soaks up a lot of resources every day, having to stand down at the station deck to prevent 3 rows of taxis blocking the entrance there and congesting that major arterial exit from the CBD. So there are just too many points where we have to be. Now, the neighbourhood safety officers are helping. They are also helping drive up these fines in wards across the city, but here in the CBD, we will need to readjust our strategy, and I have asked the senior management for a meeting on that, because despite raising this repeatedly, I am still receiving a lot of complaints.
Several listeners raising the issue of poor synchronization of traffic lights, particularly along Buitengracht, and suggesting that if that was done more intelligently, then the problem would be less.
So I have also raised this in the past on that and other roads off it, because you can't adjust the one without having knock-ons to the traffic lights in other directions and the roads that cross those in turn. And I was informed a while ago that this was being addressed. I was at the city's CCTV monitoring center on Buitengracht Street, there diagonally behind the Fritz Pet Hotel, and they had the cameras and drones working together to time this and to work with the signals management officials to try and get that timing as optimal as possible. But I will again relay the criticism to ask if there are better alternatives. The reality is, if we keep on growing as a city and rail does not become a viable contributor to alleviating our congestion, and more people move here and more cars get added to our roads, this challenge will continue to grow, and there's only so much you can do with enforcement before additional road and rail and other public transport capacity becomes essential.
Alderman JP Smith, the Mayco member for Safety and Security, the City of Cape Town.